Good afternoon, everyone. So my husband requested a vegan pecan sandies. So what I like to do sometimes is I have a lot of old recipes that I get from like my old family recipes and stuff like that, and I try to convert them to vegan. Same way with a lot of my baking stuff that people really enjoy. I have done stuff to convert it over to a vegan dessert or meal. So, one of the books that I own that I enjoy is this 365 Days of Cookies. So, this book is just filled with cookies. So, I checked to see if they had a pecan sandy recipe, which they do. And I went through, and basically, pecan sandies doesn't have anything really that you can't substitute. So the 2 cups of butter softened, I just use vegan butter. So what I'm going to do, this is the first time I'm making these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just follow this recipe. I'm going to switch out anything that has animal product for a non-animal product substitute. So I'm using, what am I using today? I'm using Earth Balance butter instead of regular butter. So we're just going to go ahead and follow the recipe, and we'll get started on this. Okay, so for today's recipe, for these pecan sandies, you're going to need 2 cups of butter softened. So you're going to just go ahead and change that to a vegan butter. You're going to need 1 cup of confection sugar, which is basically it's powdered sugar. Some people call it powdered sugar, some people call it confection sugar. Now, you're going to want to look for, if you're being like strict vegan, you want to make sure that this was made, you want to get Domino's, and you want to check if it's in Yonkers, New York, or I'm thinking Chicago. I have to look up the other one. I just remember Yonkers because that's what ours got. That is your sugar that this Domino's does not use bone shards to grind up their sugar. So you want to make sure that that's what you're using. So you're going to need 1 cup of that. 2 tablespoons of water. 4 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 4 cups of flour, and 2 cups of chopped pecans. And you're also going to need additional confection sugar, so after it's all made, I believe you roll them in sugar. I have never made pecan sandies vegan or non-vegan. So this will be a first time for me and you together. We'll do it together. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to preheat the oven to 300 degrees. 300 degrees. Then the recipe says in a large bowl, cream, butter, and sugar. So I have my 2 cups of butter. This is a little handy dandy little device that I like to use occasionally when I have to have more than a cup of something. It's really nice. You can measure it out, but it's nice to be able to have it all together instead of 1 scoop, filling it back up. So, and then we're going to, and then sugar. So my confection sugar. So my 1 cup of sugar. So we are going to beat that together. Okay. Cream, I should say. We're going to cream it. So again, when it says cream, I tend to go on a lower speed because we're just getting that confection sugar or powdered sugar into the butter. We're not trying to, turn it fluffy. We're just creaming it up together. So that's it for that. This looks super simple. There are literally 3 steps to this recipe. Okay, so now we're going to add water and vanilla and mix well. So our water, we needed 2 tablespoons of water. So 1, 2 tablespoons of water and 4 teaspoons of vanilla. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to mix well. Now this is another reason you want to make sure it's mixed well with this, is because when you start adding your flour in, again, you don't want to have pockets of vanilla or water mixed up in. Okay, so you're going to make sure, you don't want pockets of vanilla or the water or anything set in to have it all be in one cookie. So, because once you start adding flour, it gets a little bit of a thicker consistency and harder to mix. So it says gradually add in flour. So we're just going to go ahead and gradually add in the flour. And this is 4 cups of flour. So you could also just get do 1 cup at a time. That might be easiest for you to do. I like to have all my stuff together. So my kids tend to interrupt me when I'm doing stuff. So I like to have all my ducks in a row because there has been times when I have forgot to add something into a recipe because they were harassing me. Okay, it is mixed together. So the next step is to fold in pecans. So we're just going to fold in our 2 cups of chopped pecans. Move that out of my way. Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be yummy. Again, this is going to be another one that ain't going to be a Whole Foods, no oil type of thing. This has butter and of course sugar, and I'm going to use my hands just a little bit to get it in there. And again, you want to fold this in because you don't want to break down your pecans, so you want to keep everything together. Okay, so our next step is to roll dough into 1-inch balls, place on an ungreased baking sheet, and flatten with fingers. So, 1-inch balls is an equivalent of about 2 tablespoons. So what I'm going to use is my 1.5 tablespoon scoop and just let it fill up a little over. And that way I can roll it into balls. And it says an ungreased cookie sheet. So I'm going to do that. And then it says to press down with fingers. So it has a nice flat side. So I'm going to show you that. So that's what it's going to look like once it's on the cookie sheet. And there's my buzzer. So they'll look like that. And then I'm going to film sheet with this. And it says that we're going to bake for 20 to 25 minutes or until bottom edges are golden brown. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and fill my cookie sheet, get them in the oven, and then we can't do our next step until they are cooled. That's when you dust it with more of the convection sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill my cookie sheets, and I'll get to it. So this says it makes about, oh crap, 5 dozen cookies. That's a lot of pecan sandies. I should have read the whole thing and I would have cut my recipe in half. But I'll be giving away some pecan sandies if anybody wants any. All right, I'll see you soon. Okay, so my pecan sandies are baked. I got about 3 dozen, so I'm thinking maybe I used a little bit too much cookie dough, but it didn't really make a difference. They're cooked all the way through. They're very nice. So the next step is to coat them in powdered sugar. So I have a bowl of powdered sugar, and I am coating them in powdered sugar. And they say that these will soak up some of the powdered sugar as they sit. So it may feel like it's covered a whole lot, but they will, the moisture of the cookie will soak up some of that powdered sugar. So I guess not too much is what they were saying. So, but they smell delicious. They smell like a pecan pie. Smell great. But, so basically, I'll finish these. That way you don't have to watch me do it. But this is like after they're dipped. And I think they turned out great. My husband's going to be super excited when he wakes up. He works midnight, so he worked last night and he put in the request this morning for his pecan sandies. So I will finish these up. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If there's any suggestions of what you guys want to see or me try to convert into a vegan dish, suggest it. Send me a message, whatever. We'll see what we can do. All right, you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.